treasure hunters, blue sky thinkers, bundlers. Who have we got? Wow. Bob just shared us on Twitter to his 75,000 followers. Bob is basically the king of Twitter.
That's a lot of followers, man. Wow.
Tweeting like a boss. I spoke to someone this morning. They have a lot of Twitter followers. And she said she did it through tweet chats, through chats on Twitter. Apparently that is like the way. I bet Bob's not going to share his secrets with us for Twittering. But
one of the things I love about Twitter is you can connect with random people through hashtags, especially like the elections going on. A lot of debate topics are happening, and these public conversations are happening on Twitter, and you can have these conversations with like random people, and it's all about whatever topic the hashtag is about. So it's really cool.
Are you a political Twitter troll, Isaac?
A little bit.
A little bit. He's like, not that many people. you came to me. I said, are you just upsetting people on Twitter? Are you just going to upset all our friends on Twitter? He's like, I don't have that many friends. It's fine.
I think I have 100 followers. I think I have about 100 followers.
I'm working on.
I'm like the opposite.
You keep it small. You're like the niche Twitter guy.
That's it. Yes.
So thank you very much, Bob. That's very much appreciated. So we've had, oh my gosh, I think we're just sort of coming down. We went away to ASD on Friday. We left for ASD on Friday. And ASD is a huge trade show, big trade show in Las Vegas, takes up the whole of the Las Vegas Convention Center. And it's huge. I think ASD stands for something like affordable shopping destination, but it used to stand for something else. Everyone always says, what does ASD stand for? I think it's affordable shopping destination. But it's basically, it's like 9 shows. They just keep acquiring shows and then jamming them all together. Yeah. So you go through one hall and they have some really interesting things going on. They have Source Direct, which is overseas sourcing. So if you're interested in getting products manufactured for you from overseas, they have areas for China, India, Pakistan, Taiwan, all these countries. And you can go and meet particular manufacturers from those countries and talk to them. Then they have a cash and carry section where you can buy things retail, kind of. It's kind of strange. They have them so you can buy it from retail or... That was it. Amy was the lady we were talking to this morning, and she has 310,000 Twitter followers, and she got them through tweet chats, which is amazing. So this turned into like, I don't know, is this like a Donald Trump conversation of like who has the most Twitter followers? I have 3,000. I'm not a big Twitterer.
I can assure you I'm pretty happy with my Twitter followers.
I'm working on growing. That's so funny. I'm working on growing my Twitter followers. You've got nothing to worry about in the hand department, Isaac. I'm just too much information. Boom. And it all started off so well, to be fair. No, so what was I talking about? I was talking about, and then cash and carry section. So that was kind of fun. We went there and a lady did my hair on Periscope, which was great. Bob's sharing some good trivia. ASD stood for Associated Surplus Dealers when the show was first established in 1961. Wow, that's a long time ago. Yeah. They had tags you could get actually that had 20-year veteran and 5-year veteran and all. Okay, so this was I've got to show this off because this is my ASD badge, and it started off just like that, and then we went to a party, and then we got VIP because VIP. You've got VIP as well, Isaac. We got VIP, and then it just kind of jumped shark, and we ended up with all these badges. But can you believe they had Treasure Hunter? They were giving away Treasure Hunter tags at ASD. And they had some other ones. They had Let's Make a Deal. I like a Boss, Trade Show Gypsy, Fulfilled by Amazon. So it's kind of interesting. A lot of people are like, oh, ASD don't like Amazon. They don't like Amazon sellers. They're kind of weird about Amazon sellers. They have Fulfilled by Amazon right there. And they knew we were coming, so they had Treasure Hunter. And I saw a lot of people at our talks with Treasure Hunter tags. I don't have them right here, but I have a handful of treasure hunter tags. So we're going to include those in our giveaway. Ooh. So you could have the chance to win a treasure hunter tag. We've got some bigger prizes than that, but we'll address those. Are you coming back in July? Hopefully. I think we're thinking about it. We've done the last 3 ASDs. The first time we went, we just kind of were there periscoping and talking about it, and we were kind of unofficial.
It was our first time there, so everything was new, and it was just really mind-blowing.
And it was our first trade show, really.
Yeah.
So we were there the first time, and we just talked about it and periscoped and YouTubed, and they said, hey guys, we kind of like what you're doing. Can you come and actually do that for us? So the last time in August, and then this time, ASD kind of had us on the team sort of, I guess, periscoping and talking for them, helping out and hosting classes. Yeah. So this time we did 3 classes. They gave us a really nice room up in South Hall, and we had 3 classes on each day. The first day we did an e-commerce meetup. We just did Q&A really and answered people's questions. And it's so exciting. We met so many people. I can't even remember how many people we met, but there were so many amazing people. Rachel, Sharon, oh my gosh, Ian Kirk, Peggy Cambruce is just an amazing lady, and her lovely husband, Dean. I'm trying to think of all the awesome people we met.
Michael, Brian, Art.
Yes. and we got you and Art Santos in the same picture to prove that you are not the same person. Because someone on YouTube was like, is Isaac and Art the same person? So we proved, no, they are not the same person. Oh my gosh, we met so many wonderful people. We met Debbie Weeder. Finally, she's been such a lovely treasure hunter for a long time. Cheryl was there, Cheryl Brightman. I'm at such a loss. We met so many people and had so many hugs, and I said it on treasure hunting. Oh no, I said it on my wall. I said everyone goes to ASD for the deals, and I go for the hugs, just because people are pretty awesome. So the first day we did a Q&A, and that was cool. People asked their questions about selling online, mostly Amazon sellers, I would say, but a lot of people who were exploring different platforms, wanting to get into selling on Facebook, selling on Instagram. We've even met some people who are selling on Instagram, and a lot of people interested in setting up their own websites, doing Shopify. And I think what we were really realizing with all of this is just how amazing having a multi-platform approach can be. And the second day we did a class on building your brand online. And the third day we did products, how to develop and brainstorm a product. And I was really amazed. I thought the first day was really busy. It was full up. And I was like, okay, this is cool, because it's a Q&A session. And then the second day and third days, I was like, okay, this is going to be a small turnout. We'll just have a little class. And I was like, hey, everyone, come up to the front. Let's all huddle. Let's get close to the front.
She's like, hey, can you move all the tables together so it's like a little powwow?
That was what I thought. I wanted to have a really small, like, interactive little class. We ended up with people out the door and having to, like, run and get more chairs, which was amazing. I was, like, kind of overwhelmed by the turnout. So that was really, really nice. So hopefully we'll be coming back next time, and I think we might need a bigger room, because we've got to a sort of standing room only. But it was cool. We talked about building a brand and then coming up with product ideas. And I think what we really started seeing on those 2 days was that people are really getting into this multi-platform approach. Yeah. And one of the big takeaways, like one of the big things, and I think I put this in the newsletter this morning. We sent out a newsletter this morning. And one of the big takeaways I noticed was that in 2016, like, we have this incredible, amazing power to just do things that in the past you needed a whole corporation to do. And I think this is just incredibly exciting. Like, if you have a product idea now, you can get it out there without a huge amount of people behind you. You don't need purchasing departments. You don't need manufacturing departments. You don't need a factory. There are more and more people producing blank products or materials that you can use to create products, sell them online. And now we have the platform to actually brand those products, get artwork for those products. You can outsource really easily to get artwork, to get content, to get text, to get music. You can put this all together, the products, the artwork. You can package them. There's places where you can get like amazing packaging, everything from sort of like, I don't know, cool tins and boxes to like mason jars to like all kinds of packaging.
It's amazing, yes.
Like you can put together a product really, really easily now. And the amazing thing is we have all these options to sell them. You've got Amazon, you've got Facebook, Pinterest. Like Pinterest has buyable pins.
Yep.
You've got your own website. Like there's all these. Bob's a fan of big packaging. I feel you, Bob. Not literally, because that just again. Moving swiftly on.
Well, I heard, like, you look at the Facebook story, and Mark Zuckerberg, he was in his early 20s, and he started his a website, and which turned out to be by far the biggest website that we've ever known. Everyone's on Facebook, worth billions and billions of dollars. What's remarkable is that he was able to start this without getting anyone's permission. He didn't have to go through he wasn't a part of a corporation where he had to ask a team of people on how should I do this. And you have a whole panel of people going, should we do this? Well, statistics say this. No, he just went out and did it. And the same thing applies to today with selling products, is that, you don't need a large investment and you don't need to go through a lot of hoops that you had to in the past.
And it's funny because this is something, I've been thinking about a lot for like the new classes we've been doing with. So we launched our new class last week. It's been running, I think, just about a week. We launched it like a day before we went to ASD. So it's been up and running for a week. And I really had a hard time with that. Like, how much do we put into this about actually analyzing what works? And it's amazing because I guess I did my business degree, like I finished it 8 years ago, and I started it long before that. It took me a long time to get my business degree because I was having babies, doing things. And I know we did so much on analysis, step analysis, SWOT analysis, SMART goals, like all these things, all these matrices, the marketing mix, products, like how you analyze whether a product's going to work. And I think things have changed a huge amount in the last 10 years. Like since I got that degree, things have changed so much that I think now the best way to actually test a product and figure out if it's going to work is to test it. You can, and I'll give you an example at the product brainstorming. So we talked about this new system I have for kind of coming up whether you think a product's going to work. And two elements of that are whether it fits people's needs and whether it's emotionally appealing to them. So what you can do is find a product that people need. And we came up with like wooden spoons as an example. People need wooden spoons. Like that's something you need in your kitchen. Do you need a wooden spoon, Isaac? You do a lot of stirring?
Yes. A lot of stirring on Twitter.
No, you just leave it all to me. That's what you do. Anyway, so wooden spoons, for example. Most people need wooden spoons in their kitchen, but they're boring. You go to Marshall's, you buy a box of wooden spoons, or you buy a wooden spoon. You're probably not going to come home and go, look at my wooden spoon, guys. I bought a wooden spoon. I'm really happy with this. No, that's because it's boring. What can you do with a wooden spoon? And we came up with the idea of zombie wooden spoons.
Ooh.
Zombie, like if you had a zombie head on the end of your wooden spoon, I would pay double for that wooden spoon. I would take it home and I would go on Facebook and I would brag and be like, yo, everyone, I now have a zombie kitchen with a zombie wooden spoon. Would you not do that, Isaac?
I would so be putting that in your face, going, look at the zombie spoon, look at the zombie spoon.
You would be sticking a zombie, yeah. So that's exactly kind of where we were looking at this. So I came home and I found a company, believe it or not, that will make zombie wooden spoons for you. They will make wooden spoons with anything you want on them. And there was even, like, you can even get discounted prices. I found a deal to get 10 made wooden spoons for $39.99.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, I shared it in the Create group. Okay. But, I mean, it's that easy to do something now. And you do that, and that gives you like the buy box on your product. That gives you like, you've created that product. No one else can beat you on that product because it's yours. You came up with the design, you made your zombie wooden spoon. And I mean, you buy it $39 for 10. That's $3.90 each. Then you sell it for like $19.99. And you know, the other thing about what's happened now is that we have access to all these marketing platforms. Like, you can reach people on Facebook, can reach people on Twitter. Bob can reach like everyone on Twitter, and Amy can reach everyone on Twitter. And I mean, we just have this amazing scope now that whatever it is you're into, whatever it is you make or come up with, you can share that and put that out there and just reach a whole lot of people and have an audience already waiting for you. And I mean, we've kind of talked about Facebook before. And I always tell people, go and look at audience insights. Like on Facebook, if you've never looked at audience insights before, Google audience insights on Facebook and take a look at it. You do have to have an ad account, but I think you can get in for free to just go and look at it and play with it. Really, really worth it. It will blow your mind about about who exists out there and what products they want and how much they're willing to spend on them. I mean, you can find out people's demographics, their income, what their house is worth, how much money they spend on particular products. It's pretty incredible. And I think a lot of this we just never had access to before the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you throw in FBA into the mix, and FBA is like a hub. Like, a lot of people were saying, well, I want to sell on my own website. I want to sell on Facebook. I want to sell on Pinterest. And we're like, well, set up FBA as a hub. Start with FBA. Because first of all, you get all the traffic from Amazon. And we know, like Amazon, 270 million active people on Amazon.
The biggest
browsing
marketplace.
Stuff,
yes.
buying stuff. Like, if there's someone out there who wants it, they will be on Amazon buying it. I mean, even like a tiny fraction of 270 million people is a lot of sales. So start with Amazon. And not only that, not only do you get the organic traffic and the sales, but you have the fulfillment option, which is just mind-blowing. Amazon will ship out to your customers. You send it all in a big box. Amazon will ship it out to your customers as they order. Now, what's even more mind-blowing is now Shopify have hooked up with FBA. So you can set up your website, and when people order through your website, Shopify sends the order to Amazon, and Amazon can fulfill it out in a plain box, multi-channel fulfill it out to your customers from your own website.
It's pretty amazing.
And Shopify's linking with it. It's got Pinterest on board now, hasn't it, Isaac? And does it have Facebook yet? I think.
Yes, it does. It's done something really interesting with Facebook. They actually have a custom app that you can list all your products directly inside Facebook. So it looks like a mini store that's inside Facebook. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really neat the way they set it up.
And I think Facebook, I mean, if I had to predict, I think that Facebook is becoming more and more into shopping as a concept. Like, we know last year they put in the ability to send money through messages, and they put shops into your pages. So it seems kind of likely that Facebook are going to move more in the direction of building up their e-commerce options as well. I mean, it's hard to say because everyone's always trying, like Google did Google shopping, and like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, here's the thing with Facebook. They're working so that everything is done natively within their platform. So what that means, if you're going to read a news article, they don't want you to go outside of Facebook. They want you to read that article inside Facebook. If you're going to watch a video, they want you to watch it inside Facebook. And they're looking as being a center for a content hub. Now, from a technical standpoint, there's a need for that because websites are still kind of the Wild West. Have you ever been to a website and you just get a ton of pop-up ads?
Yeah, I have all the time.
It's so annoying, and people don't realize it. But the reason why websites are slow is because there's just a lot of code for marketing purposes. Well, if you're inside Facebook, you don't have to deal with any of that. You're not going to get these giant pop-up ads, and you're not going to get a ton of marketing code. I went to Bob's
packaging website, and the pop-ups were just... Sorry, derailed.
Yeah, you did it. But more importantly, it's going to look nicely on your phone. And that's
so you're saying no one wants a spammy website.
Right. Right. And Facebook, they want people to stay within Facebook and to read content within Facebook.
And you know what's really interesting with that? I remember when we've had people coming up and saying, I'm selling on Instagram. And we're like, how do you do that? And we know that you can market on Instagram because Facebook now, if you create adverts on Facebook, you can share them directly onto Instagram. It will create Instagram versions of them because Facebook own Instagram. Yep. But here's the thing, you can't market directly on Instagram. But people are selling there. How? Because it's all about finding your audience. And you can basically, it's kind of like having a yard sale. You can say, hey, I'm selling this product. Let me know if you want to buy it. Or you can direct them to your site. And PayPal now, you can put PayPal buttons pretty much anywhere.
Yep.
So you can use PayPal and make a PayPal button. And if you can put a buy button on your page on social media, like you can sell anywhere. That's and I think this is kind of where the direction of things is going now. That we're kind of moving to a place. It's almost like if you go to a spa, for example, you go to a beauty spa and you go there to have your face done and your makeup done and they do your eyelashes and all this stuff. But as you're walking in, you can buy like robes with their logo on. Or you can buy, I don't know, branded snacks. You can buy their own beauty products. And it's like people are selling in places that aren't shops. Like there's a lot of places like museums that have little things you can buy. People sell in places that aren't necessarily shops. And I think that phenomenon is kind of happening on the internet now, that wherever you go, you're kind of getting a buy button. It's like the buy buttons are available anywhere you go.
Exit through the gift shop.
Right, exactly. Nice Banksy reference. We've been talking about Banksy and Create.
Well, no, I mean, you go to an amusement park. What happens when you go to Space Mountain? Where do they lead you at the end of the ride?
You always go out through the gift shop.
Great. You enjoyed the ride. It was an awesome ride. Here's some space stuff for you to buy.
Right, and that's it. And I keep seeing people who are building these huge audiences, and they don't know what to do with them. Like someone's got a doggy page on Facebook, and they said, well, I got 30,000 people liking my doggy page on Facebook. And it's like, whoa, hold on. You can make like candy with doggies on. You can make socks with doggies on. You can make lunch boxes for people with doggy loving kids. And I mean, if it's a breed of dog, you can make all these products and sell them on that Facebook page. And I mean, it's kind of half the battle on that. It's a very different way of thinking than FBA, because when you sell straight on FBA, you're just relying on Amazon to bring you the audience. Yeah. And what you can do is kind of filter them to you by putting out like the keywords, getting the keywords right, and putting out ads and bringing people to you that way. But now I think things on the internet at large in general are becoming more about building an audience and the power of having an audience. And I mean, I think we've seen that with like merch, for example. I mean, merch, you don't get a lot of organic traffic. You need to bring the audience to you. Createspace, same thing. You don't get a lot of space for keywords. You have to have the audience and bring them to you. And I think that's like a constant through how things are developing on the internet, that it's about building that audience and finding ways to filter them to your products and offering them things that they're going to like and things that they're really going to love. Oh, you moved, Isaac. I was waiting for a word of wisdom.
My connection, because I'm on my cell phone, is a little low. So if I have a slow response, I'm sorry, but you're kind of like a little jittery, kind of Max Headroom a bit.
Oh, that's just me. That's the coffee kicking in. So, okay, what were we talking about? We were talking about, so those were kind of the things that we talked about at ASD and what we were learning. And I think what we realized from this, like having this multitude of platforms, that you have selling platforms now, you have a lot of scope to sell, you have a lot of scope to market, to build audiences, to create products, to create packaging. And what we saw is that people are really taking on corporations. I mean, like we talked about like Valentine's Day. I created a listing for like really simple Valentine's cards that had robots on. I didn't make them. I just found them and created a listing for them. But I was buying them for $1 each. And I listed them on Amazon, created a really cool listing for them, good keywords. And I sold a bazillion of them. And the next time I looked, a week before Valentine's Day, they were the #1 new release in note cards because they had cute robots, and obviously a lot of people out there like little robots. So that was robot note cards for Valentine's Day. And they did really, really, really well. And here's the thing, like there are big companies out there making Valentine's cards. And there's all the sort of like the branded characters, the Doc McStuffin and the Dora the Explorer and all these big characters. Who's big at the moment? Frozen. And yet I can just find like little robot note cards and list those and beat them and sell against them. And I looked amazing. And you know, Katharyne in coloring books, Katharyne Lowe, who I talked to on another Blab, she's still in the top 10 books on Amazon.
Wow.
She's still in the top 10 of books, best-selling books. If you don't believe me, take a look at books on Amazon. Her coloring book, she's actually calling herself Sasha O'Hara, which is an awesome name. She's written them under her pseudonym, Sasha O'Hara. But if you look in the top 10 books on Amazon, her book, I think yesterday when I looked, it was at #7. It's been in the top 10 for ages. It's beating Doctor Who coloring books, beating Harry Potter, it's beating Joanna Basford. She got to #1 in adult coloring books. Now, take a look in Barnes & Noble. Rows and rows and rows of adult coloring books. And they're big brands. They're Doctor Who, they're Harry Potter, they're Random House and Penguin and all these big publishing companies who spend millions doing focus groups and figuring out what people want and making these coloring books. And yet one person can just have a good idea, put it into practice with Createspace, which costs $2 to make a book on Createspace. And she's beating them. She's selling thousands and thousands, thousands of copies.
That's so amazing.
I'm just mind blown by the whole thing. But this is what is like what is possible now. Createspace, all the print on demand platforms, and moving out to white label products. It is all become really, really possible to do all of this. Pen Ames says the adult coloring craze is frightening. What's an AA?
What is an AA?
Oh, an Amazon associate? I think.
Is that?
I think, or affiliate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Amazon associate.
it's a good stream. So I think we're in a really different sort of zeitgeist for manufacturing and creating things. And it was interesting at ASD. What we saw at ASD walking the floor is I saw two things. There were two things that really interested me. First thing was I saw people who have white labeled products. Like, for example, we were walking around the back and this guy calls us over and he's like, I have a product and it's called That Damn Candy. I think that was what it was called. Damn Candy or something. Pardon my language, those who are offended. But this guy basically sells for
his niche was
candy.
Pretty funny.
His niche was hilarious. He said it's for Cottonmouth. He says, I'm based in Colorado. And, you know, if you get up in the morning and you smoke some marijuana in the morning and you smoke some marijuana in the afternoon, you get Cottonmouth. And that was his whole thing. And he sells peppermints for Cottonmouth. And he just basically sells regular mints.
They're just regular mints.
And I had calls them 420 mints. You tried them. Did it solve your cotton mouth problem, Isaac?
I did not have a cotton mouth problem, but I imagined if I did, it might be helpful.
Okay. So he just skins these tins, and that's what he does. And he said, we've been killing it. He said, man, we're killing it this year. It's been amazing. Then we talked. Oh, and then he said, but I had this guy come to me, and he does have cotton mouth, but he goes to church. And he also has diabetes. And he said they really, I lost the logic somewhere. But he said
no. There was two things that happening. He found, so the original Cottonmouth was called like 420 candy or something like that. And they said a lot of stores didn't feel comfortable selling 420 products. And so they wanted to tone it down a bit. So then he switched the name to Cottonmouth to make it a bit more consumer friendly. Just the name so you can put it in retail stores and it's not real obvious what it's used for. But those that are in the know. And then he realized he had a friend who has diabetes, and he said that his candy is the only candy he can eat because it's sugar-free. So
it's sugar-free. That was it.
Yeah, so he rebranded. He had these little tins, these custom tins. So he went from 420 candy to Cottonmouth candy to just call it diabetes candy.
And it worked.
Completely just hit a different audience.
And he was killing it at ASD. He was really busy, and he said he's been having a great year with it. So this is a guy who was skinning his own product. He was a white labeler, basically. Yeah. He was taking regular products, white labeling them with his niche, with his brand, his theme. So that was the first thing I noticed. But also, as we walked around ASD, a lot of the time we saw plain products, like a lot of plain products. There was bedding. And I mean, I picked out, if anyone was watching the Periscope, I saw neon bedding, like bright pink, bright lime color, green, yellow, like really crazy colored bedding. And they just put it in a regular pack. And I think it was called like luxury home or luxury bedding. And it was like the most boring old lady packaging I've ever seen for a neon pink bedsheet. Like, who is going to buy that? If you want a neon pink bedsheet, you don't want this old lady packaging. And what I realized is a lot of the sellers at ASD are working with like Amazon sellers or online sellers or retailers to brand products. And you talked to the Spice Rack guy, and it was the first person you talked to at ASD. And he said, if you buy a pallet of these, I'll be happy to brand them for you. Yeah,
what he was trying to sell, I said these spike racks, the Spice Rack, it was kind of like in the shape of like a flower. It had an interesting design. And I said, well, how do you go buying these? And he says, well, we have our own brand. And this company, they had multiple brands, and each brand had a line of products. I asked him, well, what if I want to put my own brand on it? How do I go about doing that? Because his brand was kind of boring, and I just couldn't see it marketing to a specific audience of people. And he says, well, I'll tell you what, if you buy a pallet worth of products, I believe it came up to like 1,000 items.
That's a big order, though. That's a big amount.
It's a decent size, yeah. But I mean, it's not like super huge.
Yeah, you can test it with that.
Right, a pallet I think is testable. And so he says, if you buy a pallet or more, we'll work with the manufacturers and let you put your own branding on it. And you have a lot more options for customizations. And
that's really interesting. There was also, I talked to there's a source lady there, and they are actively seeking private labelers. And there were several others. There were several other stands that actually had banners saying, ask us about private label. And they're really offering that as an option. And a lot of them with much smaller quantities. I mean, 1,000 is quite a big quantity for a lot of people who are just getting started. You don't really want to get started with 1,000 units. But there were a lot of people who are doing smaller orders, especially in groceries, beauty. Like I've seen like hand lotion, soaps, and a lot of smaller products. And they're willing to private label much smaller quantities. And we see the same thing online. I mean, we've been kind of finding companies that you can source from in smaller quantities. But it's interesting because what I see is a big change. At first, when we went to ASD, a lot of people we talked to, like the first time we were there, we're talking, they were there to just build up their brand. And that's kind of why I said there's a lot of white labelers there. There's a lot of people who are building their brand. And you say to them, well, can I get a plain version of your product? Can I just get a white label version? And they were saying, well, no, I'm here to build my brand. I want to make my brand popular. And that's why we're here. We're building awareness for our brand. But this time around, it felt like a lot of people were, some of them were building their brand, but there were other people who are just literally, they want to shift product. And
they're wising up a bit more hip to selling online versus selling to retail stores.
Right. And and that's true as well. I mean, there's more people who, and I mean, we see ASD there, like they've got fulfilled by Amazon as one of the tags that they have there. And we're seeing people being more friendly towards Amazon and online sellers. But yeah, I'm seeing more people who are just willing to move product. Like they're like, okay, we're the manufacturer. We're going to make the product. If you want to buy it, what do you want us to do to it? How do you want us to do it? And what do you want us to put on it? Which is kind of a turn in things. And I think one of the reasons for that might be that it's just becoming easier to customize products. I mean, if you look around, there's like the sublimation printing has become more accessible. People are silk screening, engraving. I mean, you can even get things like the cry cut. Everyone's kind of manufactured the technology, and the 3D printing, particularly. Like 3D printing is becoming a huge phenomenon as well in itself. So there's like all these types of manufacturing that are becoming available to just regular people. That it's not just big, like you don't have to go and buy big machinery to customize things now. Yeah. And what I'm seeing is this kind of zeitgeist with all of those things that's kind of leading people to this customizable way of making products. And I think we're seeing that, whether it's t-shirts, whether it's mugs, or and I think that's the problem. A lot of people are still like, well, this is just like cafe press stuff, like t-shirt, mugs, and I don't know, what else do you have? Like calendars and calculators.
Postcards.
Postcards. It goes way beyond that, though. Like, I mean, Jordan told me, he said his mugs are doing great at the moment. He's making like Moscow Mule mugs. And I mean, people are making, I've seen people doing great with like gift tags and I mean, all kinds of things like toys, teddy bears. And it's becoming easier and easier if you have an idea to like mix content with your products. So, I mean, you can get a teddy bear and put a song in it, or put words in it, or put music in it. Now, what can you do? And I think people are starting to think outside the box more. So if you get a toy teddy bear and you have the ability to put a song in it or put something in it, what about, like, you could put hypnosis tapes in there. You could have a teddy bear that stops you smoking. Like, boom.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Are you just trolling my non-smoking teddy bear? I think this is a great idea.
I think it'd be a great idea for a teddy bear.
And this is kind of, I feel like people are waking up and seeing that this is what we can do now. And I mean, we, like, from our point of view, I mean, I'm not like trying to just pimp our course. We put out our course last week, and that's kind of the focus of it, because I think it's really exciting. And I mean, we've been having fun in the Create course. I've got a game going at the moment where we have a word brainstorming session, and we use word clouds, and we come up with 5+1 product ideas. And we got 6 products in 5 minutes this morning. I did 6 products in 5 minutes. You did 6 products in 5 minutes. We came up with the same idea on one of them, or a slightly different idea. We can share our idea outside the group. I think it's okay. The idea we came up with was if you had a drone and it drops water on children. So instead of playing in the fountains, the water comes from above. Like, that is the next hot summer toy. I'm just putting it out there that we had this idea. So when you see this in the summer, it was our idea. Would you say that, Isaac?
Yes. I think it'd be cool. You're out in the field, a bunch of kids, and like the parent is controlling the drone and deciding which kid he's going to hit with a water balloon.
Wow, you're kind of evil with this. See, and the way I wrote it, when I had the idea, I said it just sprinkles water on the children, like a lovely sort of like I don't know. Those
you got to drop the bomb.
And I just like, no, it's going to drop a water balloon straight on their head,
on their face. Yes.
We have a different parenting style. A glitter bomb. There you go. A glitter bomb.
Oh my gosh.
That's such an epic idea. Can you imagine at events and like parties, if you're outside, or like New Year's Eve, and you have drones going over and they just drop glitter on everyone? That's such an awesome idea. Party. So we're kind of, I mean, I feel like I've moved in a different direction. And it was interesting. I was talking to Brian, and he said, I don't know what's happened, but it feels like the last year I've just come up with like more creative ideas. I've just, something unlocked in my brain, and I'm being super creative. And I'm seeing that with loads of people. Everyone's kind of got this creativity getting unlocked. And I don't know, that's what I'm writing at the moment. I'm all about like, let's come up with ideas and see how we make them happen, and put them on Amazon, put them on your own website, put them out there and make them available for people. And I think it's got really interesting. Another thing I was talking about this morning, I said, like, a lot of people sort of came to us through the picker community, particularly. A lot of us, and I started off kind of picker, going out to yard sales, going out to rummage sales, estate sales. And you know what I love is finding like treasure and finding like something that makes you go, what is this? Like an evil doll. I had the evil doll, and its like head was falling off, its arms were falling off, all these things. Now, here's the thing, when you start thinking about this in a different way, and I knew when I found that evil doll, I was like, someone's going to buy this. And they did. I sold it. It sold for like $20, and it was a disgusting, horrible doll with its head falling off. And I always had that feeling when I find things, and I go, someone's going to buy this. I found a matchbook with the Salton Sea, like an old picture of the Salton Sea on. Like, someone's going to buy this because it's so collectible. It's so cool. It's like got the Salton Sea on. And everyone loves that post-apocalyptic kind of feel because of Fallout and just all the like games that go with that and the urban exploring and all of those things.
Yeah, it's kind of Mad Max romanticizing about the apocalypse or something.
So I knew, like, if you have something with the Salton Sea on, it's going to sell. So here's what's amazing now is we can come up with these ideas. We can, all those things that you find at yard sales or you find at estate sales and you go, well, that's weird. I know that'll sell. Like eBay people already know this. They know if they find those things that are weird, that they're going to sell them. Yeah. The crazy thing is now we can make those and we can make them cheap. Like, okay, we know the Salton Sea is going to sell. What stops us from doing postcards? What stops us from hiring someone from like an online, from an art site? Or what stops us from getting someone to draw a picture, a vintage style picture of the Salton Sea for us? And we put that on a postcard, or we put that on, I don't know, a cool tin. We put it on an ashtray. We put it on a magnet or something. Like there is so much scope. The Eiffel Tower, exactly. You get someone on Fiverr to come up with the artwork for you. You put it on your product, and boom! Instead of having that product that you sold once on eBay, you have a product you can list on Amazon and sell over and over and over and over again. And I think that's what's really exciting. And Createspace. I mean, you can make coloring books. You can make like all kinds of books on Createspace with things in. And I think the world's just got really, I don't know if it's just like, I was sort of like, is this just us on a micro level? Have we just kind of learned something here and it's just us getting excited about it? But yeah. I felt like walking around ASD, it kind of confirmed everything as we walked around. We're like, oh, yeah, everyone's getting into this. People want a private label, but they don't necessarily want to import all this stuff from China. And they don't want to be copying. They don't want to be like, oh, here's another garlic press. Here's another silicone barbecue glove.
I think more importantly, they can't afford to.
Yeah, it's expensive and it's high risk and it's scary. Yeah, and it's quality issues.
You buy a product and once the value of a product goes down after you buy it, I mean, it's a huge hit.
So I'm really excited with this like white label ground up thing. Because you can make something brand new. So you have this abundance, like literally. I mean, we said this with bundles all the way through. Like, okay, you have abundance with bundles because you can keep coming up with different bundles. But with white label, it's like the sky is the limit here. You've got the platforms, you've got multiple platforms, you've got multiple places to market, and you've got multiple product. You can go on forever with the products. So I don't know. That's what we're about at the moment. So anyway, we're already like an hour in, and
oh wow,
I know we're just like talking and having fun. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention, and we just sent out our newsletter, and I mentioned it in our newsletter, is I think Amazon are kind of on board with this in a lot of ways. There's two things that Amazon have been announcing lately: the handmade and the custom. And I know people were getting invitations to Amazon Custom last week and the week before. It seems like they've been rolling out the invitations to that. And that's really interesting. They're different services. So with Amazon Custom, you basically say, okay, I can make phone cases. I can make desk plaques. I can make door hangers. Like any product, you can come up with pinafores, aprons, or saucepans. And what I can do is I can personalize it. And you have two options to personalize. You can either put text on it, or you can put an image on that the customer sends you. So That's all Amazon Custom is. It's super simple. You just say, this is the product I make. You show some examples of what you can do with it. And the customer sends you an email or sends you an order with the instructions for what they want put on it, which is great because it means that people like me who have weird names, I can finally order from someone on Amazon Custom and say, please, can you make me a wristband with my name on so that I can have catharsis for all the times that I went in the gift shop and never had my name on something. That's what custom is. It's a pretty simple concept. The downside, it's interesting because a lot of people were asking, like, should I be jumping on this? I don't know anything about this. Should I sign up? And actually, I mean, I think it's cool, but I think for a lot of FBA sellers, it might be a step backwards. And the reason why is you have to merchant fulfill and you have to do the work of actually customizing the product. Now, if you have the ability to customize, if you have a printer, if you have engraving facilities, if you have silk screening or sublimation or any of those things, embroidery, it could be a gold mine. Like, people do want customized products now. People want things that they look at them and go, this was made just for me. But I think for regular FBA sellers, it might be kind of shiny object syndrome, like, oh, I should be doing this, but I won't. And the other thing with Amazon they've got is Handmade. And I want to just mention Handmade as well. Handmade is kind of like Amazon's answer to Etsy. And it's pretty interesting because I feel there's not a lot of difference between Handmade and FBA. And actually, one thing that's interesting about Handmade, they give you a professional account. If you're selling on Amazon Handmade, you get the pro seller account free, which is pretty interesting. Unless, bad news, unless you sell more than 40 non-handmade products. So if you're selling more than 40 non-handmade products, you've still got to pay. But if your focus is on handmade, you actually.
And how much is it a month?
$40.
Okay.
So it kind of works. It makes sense, but it's kind of a bonus if you do want to go with handmade, and you don't sell a lot otherwise. But it's interesting. Handmade, you have to make the products yourself, have one of your employees make them, or have a member of your collective make them. I think it's 100 people in the collective or 20 employees. It has to be under that. So you can't just set up like a big factory sweatshop and say, oh, one of my employees. No, it has to be under a certain amount of people.
Yeah.
But Handmade's interesting because I think what it really does, there's not a lot of difference between Handmade and FBA. But what it does is it sets up a certain expectation with customers that, okay, I'm getting a handmade special product. And I do see people making jewelry and charging high prices for it because it's handmade and people expect a beautiful artisan product. And what else is interesting with Handmade is they have like an artisan profile on there of you. So if you made like Isaac's like Arduino kits, and you handmade like these little Arduino boxes that people could put their like little computer nerdy sets in. Sorry, Isaac. Bob liked it. If you made this sort of like computer set and you handmade it, and you put it on Handmade, then you could have your picture and be like, I'm Isaac, I'm the Arduino guy, I make these things.
I have 100 minions putting this together for me.
No minions. You have to make it because it's handmade.
Okay.
But the thing is, you would be Amazon would profile you as an artisan of that item, which is really like it kind of upvalues the product and makes it look like it builds up your brand and makes it look like it's a really cool product. People will want it because of the brand, because you're like an artist putting it together. So that's kind of one of the interesting things about Handmade. But there's not a lot of difference between Handmade and FBA, but it is just a way of showcasing your products if you do make handmade products. So what I'm saying is kind of, it seems Amazon are very much on board with this move towards personalization, customization. You've got merch, you've got handmade, you've got custom,
and Createspace.
And Createspace, of course. And I was telling a guy at ASD, one of the marketing guys, about Createspace, and he was just like mind blown. Like, there's so much you can do with Createspace. I feel like people have barely scratched the surface with Createspace. I mean, we jumped in with coloring books, but the
it's a lot of scope.
If you have a conference or a convention, you can make books with Createspace for $2 each. And it's incredible. Now,
I hear a lot of people, like the typical thing people do is, write a book and then promote yourself as like an expert in something. So a lot of people think Createspace is a great place to market yourself. But we're finding that it's a great place to just create products that people want to own and buy.
Absolutely.
And there's a big scope for that.
Well, some people are writing books that you're like, really? Do I really need to read this? And like, I kind of hate the just write a book for the sake of writing a book, because there's some terrible books. Oh, the top 5 things I found at a yard sale yesterday, and then it's like double spaced. It costs
right.
No,
so
let's not. Like,
that's the length of the book.
Write a book if you have something good to write in a book, but there's scope in Createspace for not necessarily straight books, not necessarily just like regular books that I've written, but for other things. I mean, we go into a lot of them in the course, but something like journals. You can make journals or sketchbooks. without having to like write a lot of information. You don't have to be a writer to make those kind of books. You just have to have good ideas and be able to come up with sort of some drawing prompts, or come up with like the framework for a journal. And I mean, you could do like a weight loss journal, and it just needs the formatting each day for sort of how much weight you've lost, like a motivational saying. And like, I don't want to give out everything, because we've got like a whole section in our course about books and using Createspace.
The limit is your creativity.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, you can make programs, you can make, I mean, if you had a show going on, if you're going to a convention, if you have fans on your Facebook, like if you have your 300,000 Facebook or Twitter followers, can you come up with a book for those people? Is there like a guide you can make, or a map,
something
or
that they want,
graphics, something that they can connect to? Like, I think Createspace is woefully underused. Like at the moment, I think it's a gold mine. I think it's really, really exciting what you can do with Createspace. And I don't think it's being used in a huge way at the moment. I think it's very underused. People are using it to just knock out books that generally wouldn't be published by a regular publisher. But I think
like a blog or something.
You know, some people, I would love to read their blogs. Some people have great blogs, but I hate Createspace when it's used just as a marketing tool, because it's kind of, you kind of see through it. I think people do that more with Kindle. It's not big with Createspace, but I think Createspace is really, really powerful. And I mean, giving away content to people, like if you have fans, or you have, and I mean, I could see this being used. I don't know, like even if you sold holidays or something like that, if you're a travel agent, then here would be a really cool thing to do. If you're a travel agent, why not publish a book of top 50 destinations and send that out to all your clients? If you're a lawyer, make a guide to like getting a divorce and send that out. Like you can write a book. And not only that, it's not even just you have to write a book. There are a lot of places you can buy content, you can buy text from to make books. So I love Createspace. I think Createspace is hugely powerful, hugely positive way forward. Cool. So we've kind of talked over an hour. I wanted to talk about two things. They kind of connect though. So we're going to do a giveaway. Is that right, Isaac? Wait, I've got to go and get something. Can you like tell a joke or sing a song or something?
You're going to leave me hanging? Oh boy, this is awkward. Katharyne does all the talking. I'm really not.
Sing a song.
Sing a song.
Yeah. The wheels on the bus go round and
so I'd say I'm gonna catch up on the, let's see, agendas, list books, 300 conversation starter questions. Well, that's a good idea. I can see that. I would need that book, because I sometimes get weird around when I meet new people. I'm like, there's a new person. What do I say? I have no idea what to say to make them laugh.
I'm back.
Yay.
Oh, I like what Amy said. She's doing a pediatric cardiology book for her husband. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Amy, I saw your question earlier that you mentioned that you were interested in doing medical products because your husband is a doctor and can endorse them. Amazing. That's, I mean, that's like really using your own skills, your own resources and abilities to do something, which I think is huge. And I mean, doctors already kind of have an existing audience of patients. So I think that's an amazing idea. I think that's really kind of moving in this direction of like building an audience and selling something for that audience. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about a giveaway. Do you think we should do a giveaway, Isaac?
Sure. Depends. What are we giving away?
Everything. They can have the house, the Lego. There's too much stuff in this house. We should just give away everything.
That's probably true.
Okay, what we're going to give away. Okay, I've got all these for a start.
Ooh.
Who wants treasure hunter tags? I have a bunch of these. I've got, I think, 6 of those. So I've got one in here that says, let's make a deal as well, which I thought was kind of funny. Oh yeah, here it is. This would be great for, I can see lots of places you could go with that. Let's make a deal. Like you can go into anywhere with that. Yard sales, Walmart, trade shows. And they're great because they stack. So you can end up with like your crazy badge like that has like all the tags on. So I think we'll give these away. We can definitely do a contest, give these away. But what I would like to do is give away membership to our Create course, our new Create course. And you can find information. I'm going to just do a blatant plug because we've talked and talked and talked. So I'm going to give a plug for the new Create course. If you're interested in all the things we've talked about today, you should definitely check it out. It's at blueskysuite.com. Huge course. Yeah. Huge, as in I haven't slept since August because we've been doing this course. But it's pretty much everything we can find about how to make a product. Yay, Amy says, I'm already a member. I love it. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.
It's pretty much everything we could come up with about creating your own product and getting it selling online. So it's 15 hours. The core course is 15 hours. You don't have to watch it all straight. You can dip in and out because we have sections on like how to source artwork, how to source products, wholesale sourcing, websites for sourcing things on. We have a bunch of resources in there, like a cheat sheet for talking to wholesalers. You have a list of trade shows, a big full calendar of trade shows, what's there, which city, where they're in. It is a huge course, and we thank you, Felicia. Wow, there's loads of people in the course. Felicia's saying it's huge and worth $1,000. Rachel says, me too, she's in it, yay. You guys are the best, thank you. Marilyn says, great course. Whoa, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And Bob says everything Katharyne does is great. Oh, you guys, hug. Thank you. And thank you, Bob, for the shout out the other day for our bundle class. Very, very much appreciated it. Cool. So we have this new course. It's 15 hours of core content, but it's much more than that. We cover how to make white label products. And it's like we walk you right through it. Like right through it. We do kits. Yeah, Isaac worked on it too. He kind of put it all together. He had to look at my face for 15 hours. Yeah, Isaac's a star. We love Isaac. Yeah, I'm sorry you had to look at my face for 15 hours, Isaac.
That was like 30.
What? Oh, I guess because you had to edit it.
A lot of editing. Yeah.
So it's a big call. Yeah, you know, I think Felicia's your fan, Isaac, because we did a poll and said, what would you like to see more of? And she said, more Isaac. You're shy. He's like, oh, okay. No, you're awesome, Isaac. The people want more Isaac. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So it covers everything about white label. It covers self-publishing, Createspace. We have a whole bunch of books that you can publish, like ideas for books and how you go about it. I mean, I've even done like how you do like illustrated public domain books. I show where I get the artwork, the exact artwork that I commissioned, how much it costs to put a book like that together. Like it's a big course, and you can kind of dip in and out of it and get the ideas. So the course normally is selling for $197. That's the course. And then we have an optional subscription, which is kind of cool. The optional subscription is $30 a month, and that gives you a Facebook group. It gives you Zooms and Blabs and live classes where we talk and answer questions and share ideas and keep the course updated with like anything from creative thinking to marketing techniques to like how to put an advert on YouTube to how to brainstorm ideas. So it's kind of everything. We also have Blue Sky Suite, the software, which is pretty cool. Oh, wow. Bob Tresca's just sent a message. I'll read that in a moment. But yeah, we've got a whole bunch of things in the course. So what we're going to do a giveaway in, shall we do it in the Blue Sky group, Isaac? I think we're going to do it in the main. So we have two Blue Sky groups. There's the Blue Sky Create Your Product of Your Dreams, which is an open group that anyone can join at any time. Oh, what I didn't say, also the subscription, the $30 a month subscription. It gives you the Zooms. It gives you the Facebook group. It also gives you access to bundles, coloring books. Oh,
yeah, that's right.
And Facebook Magic, our other courses. It gives you access to all of our courses for as long as you're subscribed. And It gives you Blue Sky Suite, which is our keyword software, our niche machine software, which is completely unique. There's nothing like the niche machine out there. And we're having a lot of fun in the group. We're doing brainstorming. We've got our games going to come up with product ideas, and we have like literal links to places to package your products, discussions about what to do with your products, stuff about the nitty gritty, the legalities, like whether you need like FDA approval for things, like all of those things we talk about in there. So it's a big, yeah, we're all about the packages. So all of this going on in there. So it's a big course. The subscription's optional. If you don't subscribe, that's fine. You still get the course for at least a year. We're guaranteeing at least a year. But this subscription is also awesome because the course, the group is huge and it's really busy. We've got 100 people in our first week. Rachel says it's the best I've ever seen. And Amy says the group rocks. It's full of activity. So thank you, guys. Okay, so the giveaway. We're going to give access to the course. And Isaac, you suggested a year's membership, a year's subscription.
VIP.
I didn't know we had a VIP subscription. I thought people had to pay $30 a month.
There's a lot of back stuff happening.
Are we moving to a VIP option now?
Just for this specific membership,
Okay,
I'll have to
so
update a few lines of code. But yeah.
Okay, the winner of our giveaway is going to get what no one else has, which is a VIP membership, which will be a year's subscription. So you'll get, so the winner's going to get access to the course, VIP subscription membership, which is a year's subscription to the Facebook group, the Zooms, and everything else we do, and the software, and also bundles, coloring, like it's everything we've ever done, basically. Bundles, coloring books. I think they get my feedback book as well. Do we give away the feedback book?
It's in the resources, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so you also get my feedback book free, like the perfect feedback book. Wow, so you get everything. So the big winner is going to get all of those things. And Bob Tresca has just said, I'll offer you another giveaway item. One of your winners can have one of our Angelicious popcorn gift bag kits.
Whoa.
With 2 caramel, 1 white chocolate, 1 coffee, and 1 toffee. And I have to give a big shout out to Bob Tresca's popcorn because it's awesome. He sent us a big gift bag of popcorn. It's called Angelicious. Bob, do you have a link for your popcorn? Because I would love to shout it out to everyone because it's really cool. And he does like awesome packages. I'm back to the packages. But when we got Bob's popcorn, it was all... He put like all these cool pictures of us on it, and it was just an awesome set. Cool. So Bob, feel free to type the link for your Angelicious popcorn in there. So that's a huge giveaway. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up a thread in the Blue Sky group, in the big open Blue Sky group. So come and join that. It's at facebook.com/groups/Katharyne Sky. Make sure you're in that group. Come and join us in that group in Katharyne Sky. And I'm going to set up a thread there in the next half hour. And what was our thought, Isaac? What's your Blue Sky dream product? Was that it?
The dream product. What would you love to sell? The dream
product. If you could sell one product, what would it be? And you can use your imagination. It can be like a giant killer robot that will destroy the world.
That'd be pretty cool.
That was kind of negative. That wouldn't be cool though. That would, like, we should have a big robot that loves the world. So anyway,
I will sell a particle transporter machine, and we could transport the robot to another place in the galaxy.
Wow.
There you go.
So, or it could just be like, I want the best skin cream ever because I went to Las Vegas and my skin fell off, which is kind of what happened to me. So. The best skin cream ever. That could be a Blue Sky product. So we're going to set up a thread. Oh, and also, I wanted to give a $50 Amazon card away as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is a huge course, a huge giveaway. You get the course. So the course is $200. You get the subscription for a year, which is 30 times. That's $360. Are you crazy?
You can do math.
Okay, so that's $560. We've got Bob Tresca's popcorn gift, which I don't know how much it is, but it's priceless. And we've got a $50 Amazon gift card. And I'm going to give out a treasure hunter tag. And any of the runners up, I'm going to pick maybe 4 runners up, and they will also get a treasure hunter tag too.
And
So
hopefully
that's a
we'll
huge
see you
giveaway.
wearing it at ASD.
And you have to wear it if you go to ASD or any other trade shows. That's the rules. So, okay, that's our giveaway. We're going to post it in the Blue Sky group in the next half hour. And I think we'll announce it tomorrow. So, yes,
yeah, if
Amy,
you're a member, absolutely.
If you're already in the course, you can choose a friend. We've done that before for other giveaways for our courses. And it's been awesome because people have done that. People who've been in the courses have won it, given it to their friend, and now they have a buddy in the course, which has gone really well. So, yeah, that's our little group. We've also got another group called Treasure Hunting, and it's at Katharyne Treasure. And that's our first group, which was, I didn't put the dot in .com, so I kind of screwed it up. Let me do that again. So, in fact, I screwed it up altogether because I didn't put the groups in either. Let me post that again. There we go. That's our other group. There's Peggy, Marguerite Candice.
Awesome.
That's Peggy that we met at ASD, and she's an amazing lady.
Hi, Peggy.
So, okay, that's our other group as well. So feel free to join that. And the treasure hunting group is kind of about reselling and finding products to sell online. So we've got all those groups. And if you want to see a big group, go to Bob Willie. He has FBA newbies, and he also has a really big group that's all about helping people with Amazon. So you got a lot of cool Facebook groups to come and join. But do come to the Sky group, the Blue Sky group, because we're going to set up the giveaway in there. So you will just have to say what your Blue Sky product is, and we'll probably announce a winner pretty soon, maybe tomorrow or I'm thinking tomorrow night we'll announce a winner.
Yep.
Or maybe Monday. We'll see. But it'll be good.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Yeah.
So we're going to announce a giveaway. We've announced our giveaway. We're going to set that up in the group when we come off air. Go and check out blueskysweet.com. It's cool. This is the new course, the new software, all of those things. Do go and check it out. It's fun. It's cool. It's a great group. It's full of activity. We've got some fun games going on. And Bob, we will indeed give you the information to send the popcorn out. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will be posting this blab to YouTube. If you've enjoyed it, please do tell your friends. And thank you so much for joining us. We love you guys. Have a great Saturday evening. Go party.